Welcome to Delegation 101 for founders and entrepreneurs. Delegation sounds deceptively simple, and yet most of us founders and entrepreneurs are doing something else called abdicating and not delegating. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can fix that. Make sure you stay till the very end of the video because I'm sharing with you my framework that I use for delegating things to my team. Let's get started. Here's some tough love. That company that you started, it is not you. It is not your baby, and it is definitely not your heart or any other body part that you associate your company with. But you thinking like that is causing a big problem. It's causing a choke point in the organization. The reason that's a problem is because while the company might scale, you can't. There's only one of you, and your job as the founder, as the entrepreneur, is to empower people to make better decisions. I'm going to repeat that one more time because it's really important. Your only function as the CEO and founder is to empower your people, not to please them, but to help them make better decisions than you ever can. And while that might sound great and it might even sound obvious, most of us don't delegate because it hurts. You started this company with your own bare hands. You know your business better than any person you've hired. You've been doing their job since the beginning of time. When they struggle, it's really hard to resist jumping in and doing it for them. In order for them to improve, you need to stand back and let them screw up. They will make mistakes and it will take them longer than it would have taken you. And that is one of the hardest things we as entrepreneurs and founders have to learn. And sure, there's a couple more reasons that I've heard. I feel bossy, or I feel like they have too much on their plate already. I've got a news flash for you. So do you. And remember, you can't scale, which is why letting them screw up, letting them make mistakes is the only way to move forward. Because remember, you made mistakes too. But if you've done delegation right, you're going to feel what the experts call the joy of delegation. When you hire the right people and you see them flourish because you've given them the opportunity to grow, you're going to feel so much joy because you've now done the best thing that you could have for your organization. Your people are going to be exceptional at that very same job function. They're going to do it better than you. They're going to be even more specific and focused than you ever would have. So let's talk about the definition of delegation. The dictionary defines delegation as to give someone the power to act on your behalf, to allocate resources, make decisions on your behalf. The key word here being on your behalf. And yet, when we delegate, we tend to give the whole thing to the person on the other side and we expect them to fix the problem like magic. That isn't delegation, that's abdication. Which is why it's important that we talk about the 5 levels of delegation. When you are delegating, you need to work through these 5 levels to make sure that the person on the other side, the person that you are delegating to, is capable of going all the way to level 5. When we start delegating, we go right to level 5. And that's where the mistake is. So let's start with level 1 of delegation. Level 1 of delegation is where you're telling the person on the other side to do some research, to come back to you with their findings so that you can make the decision. This is great for interns or very junior level staff or very new staff that has just started with you and you're just testing the waters with them. Level 2 of delegation is where you're giving this person the ability to go do some research and come back to you with their suggestion and you make the decision if they should move forward or not. Again, this is great from junior to mid-junior level of staff. The third level of delegation is for your more senior level of people. This is where you're telling them to go do the research, prepare a suggestion, and tell you what they're going to be doing. If they hear from you, great. If not, they're welcome to move forward. Level 4 of delegation is now for your senior level staff, people who you've already been delegating to. And this is where you tell them to go do the research, get to a solution, get the action completed, and let you know once it's been done. And finally, level 5, the topmost level of delegation. This is where you tell your people to go do the research, put the solution in place, and not inform you about it because it is now their problem completely. And while we all want to get our people to level 5 of delegation, we make the mistake of starting them off at level 5. So I hope that you will use these 5 levels of delegation when you're delegating your next task. And now I want to give you my framework on how I delegate. How do I actually give my team tasks to get done? The first step is to get clarity on what needs to be done. You need to be able to see the whole roadmap right in front of your eyes, even if it means for you to take a piece of paper and draw out the action steps, the objective, and the plan that you're going to follow. The second step is to explain the objective to the team member. Us founders and entrepreneurs are giving chunks or tasks of a particular project to a certain person, and we call that delegation. But that's not. They really need to understand what the overall objective here is and how does this actually impact their lives at this company. So explaining the objective is a very key part of this framework. And you don't have to go into very many details, just enough so that they can connect the dots and they can see the big picture just like you have. The next step is to explain the outcome that you're expecting. You're going to tell them the exact steps that you think need to be taken and the outcome that you expect to see. And while you might be thinking, well, that isn't really delegation, I might as well do it myself. Remember, you're training your team members and yourself on how to delegate. And it's a slow process, but it's worth the patience. And the second last step is to set up milestones. Set very clear timelines with your team member and ask them to make sure that they are giving you constant updates. And finally, the last step is to review. I make sure I review all of the different tasks at different time intervals to make sure that things are going in the right direction. If there is something that needs to be fixed, these review touch points are a great opportunity to make sure that we are able to set the train back on its track. If you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe because there's a new video every single Friday. Make sure you check out this playlist here, which has my favorite tips on habits and systems for founders and entrepreneurs.